My name is Reza. I'm the CTO of Synonym. I've been toying and tinkering with technology since I was really young. And yeah, so my first job was doing tech support and building websites and doing contracting work here and there. And that was how I got into technology, I guess. And you know, all the way in high school up until university, I was always just tinkering with side projects, learning how to program on my own. Even at university, I was doing like the university tasks, but also working on my own projects as well. And one of the projects I was working on at the time was this marketplace similar to eBay, which was people could sell things that they want. And the differentiating factor was that it was payment agnostic, so you didn't have to use PayPal, you could use anything you wanted. And I was trying to find different payment systems, and I found Bitcoin. This is pretty early in 2011 or 12, around then. And yeah, when I first saw it, I was really hooked onto it because I thought I'd played around with like the PayPal API and all these other payment processes, and I wasn't really happy with it, and it was really clunky. But Bitcoin wasn't just a payment process; there was all this community around it, and there was all this drama all the time, and I was kind of hooked onto it. The marketplace idea didn't really go anywhere, but I was hooked on. I was just building wallets and just little projects here and there. I was really obsessed with, using the technology to build things. I didn't really get into the whole economic side of it. And fast forward a few years, I kind of stepped back from building things on Bitcoin. I got distracted. I went and worked on other stuff. I had this full-time job at this big company. Uh, I was still like doing some contracting work here and there, and but none of these projects or like my job at the time really made me happy. It wasn't really exciting for me. This wasn't really why I got into technology in the first place. So yeah, I decided to try it again, try it on building onto a Bitcoin, and this was in 2016 or so, 17, 16, and I I was learning about Bitcoin, about underlying technology. I learned about Bitcoin Script, which is its like the smart contracting platform system that Bitcoin has. That Lightning Network is built on top of it, and that was really intriguing for me. So before I built wallets and just interacted with its API, but with this project, I decided to go more deeper into the core underlying technologies that make Bitcoin work. I built this elaborate escrow system with like these custom transactions and with lock times and all these just anything that I thought would be cool to put inside a Bitcoin transaction. I put it in there. So that project, I released it, and I don't know if I'll get into the technical details, but the transaction sizes were really large, and so these escrows became really expensive. So it didn't really go anywhere. But I wanted to dedicate my time to only building on top of Bitcoin. So I decided to leave my job and try to find a job within the industry. And I got a job at Bitfinex, and ever since I was working there, I dealt with every altcoin you could imagine. I worked on all of the staking projects. You could just imagine, every coin in the market cap list I had to deal with. But I still wanted to only work on Bitcoin. And I got to know John Carvalho, who is the CEO at Synonym. He was telling me about his. At the time, though, we worked together on integrating Lightning Network and Bitrefill into Bitfinex, and that was how I got to know him. And so fast forward again a couple of maybe a year or two, and John was telling me about his vision for Synonym, and I was really sold on it because it was the reason why I got into Bitcoin in the first place, to build this economy and this world. And I was initially part-time at Synonym. I was doing part-time at Bitfinex still, and eventually I decided to join Synonym full-time, and thankfully, and John agreed, and and the rest is history. And now I'm the CTO at Synonym. Working with, we have a very talented team. We have a really big vision and we try to tackle. And yeah, I'm really excited to be part of it. At Synonym, we're working on two sets of technologies. One set are user-facing technologies, which are a mobile app and Blocktank, and then the underlying technologies that is Hypercore protocol, Omnibot, and /Static, which we're developing ourselves. And we use these underlying technologies within our user-facing technologies to deliver good experience to a wider Bitcoin and community. So Hypercore is a set of protocols, set of tools that we use to fill the missing pieces of our tech stack. So if you want to do peer-to-peer communication, we use their peer-to-peer module. If you want something to store some data on the internet in a distributed way, we use the Hypercore itself. So yeah, it's these little building blocks that we use in various part of our stack in order to help us get to where we want to go. Omnibot is a technology that is leveraging the Omni layer, which is a Bitcoin native asset issuance system that only uses Bitcoin. If you want to do an Omni token transaction, the transaction fees are paid in Bitcoin. So the Omnibot technology allows these Omni assets to exist on their own Lightning network. So if we issue Tether on Omnibot, that means there'll be a Tether Lightning network. And the reason why we picked Omnibot is because we believe that in order to have an economy around Bitcoin, you need to issue credits and various tokens where are not really competing with Bitcoin as a store of value. Blocktank is a Lightning servers provider product. So with Lightning Network, in order to if you want to make some payments or receive some payments, you need channels, payment channels. And with Blocktank, we allow people to lease some channels in order to make some payments or receive payments. Overall, the Blocktank services are going to be these services that allows us to improve the user experience of using Lightning Network. And when we have Omnibot, we could also sell Tether channels. And so initially we're starting with just Lightning Network channels, but later on we'll expand it in order to provide these services that allows us to improve the experience for Lightning users. So Blocktank, we have this really nice API that developers could use to integrate within their own services. Retailers could also use Blocktank to purchase channels in order to be able to get paid in Bitcoin reliably. And if somebody is making an app on Lightning Network and they need to have a lot of Lightning channels, they could come to Blocktank, lease some channels, so when they go live, they'll be able to receive payments right away and also send payments right away. So we allow people to get onboarded onto Lightning Network as fast as possible. We believe that the internet, it has problems right now, and there's deplatforming, there is censorship, there is all these walled gardens and incompatibilities between platforms. And Slashdag is a set of protocols that allows users to take back control of their experience of the web. You know, if they're registered on one website, they get to own their data. They don't. The data is not owned by their web provider. And if they want to give access to the data, it has to be taken from them. They have to give access to them. They can't be just taken away. With Slashdag, we want to bring uh, some of the ideals of Bitcoin into other parts of the web that are not related to money itself. So, you in Bitcoin, you want to own and control your private keys, but with Slashdags, we want to help people to control their data. Things like trust, don't trust, verify. We want to bring that to the other aspects of the web which are not related to just money itself. So, with our tech stack, since we're making everything open source, we're giving it to the community to, take our tools and use what we've built as inspiration to go out and build their own tools. Because if they build without tools, it's good for us, and it's, we're hoping that we could all grow together. You know, with Slashtags, for example, you can use it to build your own decentralized exchange, for example, if you want. It's very flexible with what you can do with it. You can integrate it into Hypercore for a video streaming application, and use Lightning to pay for the content creator. So yeah, what we're making is all these small primitive tools, and we're also building a lot of the first applications. But hopefully people will see what we're doing as just as an inspiration for taking it and building something for their own. If you guys have any questions regarding our technology stack, or if you're interested in joining our team, you could reach me on Twitter, which is r32a underscore. You can send me a DM there, and yeah, I'll be happy to talk to you guys about what we're building.